5,000 meters below the surface, in the pitch black, scientists have stumbled upon a baffling, seemingly infinite source of oxygen. Could this be the key to unlocking the secrets of our planet? Or, dare we ask, has the call of Cthulhu finally been answered? The truth is even more perplexing, and it might just change science forever. This jaw-dropping discovery happened by accident back in 2013 when Andrew Sweetman, a researcher from the Scottish Association for Marine Science, noticed something incredible on the ocean floor. In a remote region between Hawaii and Mexico, known as the Clarion-Clipperton Zone, an area larger than India, Sweetman and his team deployed machines to measure oxygen levels. They expected the usual, a gradual decline as marine organisms consumed the oxygen. But what they found was mind-blowing. The oxygen levels increased. Yes, you heard that right. Something on the ocean floor was producing oxygen, an infinite source of life-supporting gas in the darkest depths of our planet. Join us as we dive into this groundbreaking discovery of dark oxygen, unravel the mystery of how it's produced, and explore its potential to revolutionize our understanding of the ocean and beyond. What does this mean for science and the future of our planet? Let's find out. As a special thank you, we are excited to announce a free giveaway of an exclusive 3D printed model of the Titanic ship. This detailed model features a realistic rendering of the ship's hull, deck structures, smokestacks, and lifeboats, showcasing the Titanic's distinct appearance. Don't miss your chance to win. Participate through the link in the description or secure your own model by purchasing it on our website. Now let's dive deep into how oxygen usually makes its way down into the darkest parts of our oceans. Most of Earth's oxygen is produced by photosynthesis, a process carried out by plants, algae, and certain types of bacteria. You're likely familiar with this process. It occurs in chloroplasts within plant cells, which contain a green pigment called chlorophyll. This pigment captures sunlight, splits water and carbon dioxide, and produces sugar, and crucially for life like us, oxygen as a waste product. Oxygen produced on land spreads across the planet through atmospheric circulation, but getting it into the deepest parts of the ocean is more complicated. At the surface, oxygen from the atmosphere diffuses directly into the water, assisted by winds and mixing effects that increase the water's surface area. The topmost layers of the ocean are also home to photosynthetic microorganisms that produce oxygen directly into the water. In fact, some estimates suggest that phytoplankton alone produce around 50% of the planet's oxygen. However, sunlight can only penetrate the ocean to about 200 meters on average, meaning photosynthesis and oxygen availability drop off rapidly beyond this depth. So how does oxygen reach the deeper layers? This relies on a fascinating process. Gases dissolve better in cold water than in warm water, and cold water is also denser, causing it to sink. This allows polar waters to soak up large amounts of oxygen and be drawn down to the ocean floor, creating a convection current known as the thermohaline circulation. This drives a global conveyor belt, moving oxygen-rich waters across the ocean floor over a surprisingly long and slow process, circulating on timescales between 100 and 1,000 years. This constant, albeit low level of oxygen enables life to thrive on the ocean floor, even if it sometimes looks a little weird. The idea that oxygenated ecosystems are only possible through photosynthesis, and that other ecosystems merely benefit from residual oxygen, has been foundational in our understanding of life's evolution on Earth. Sweetman's discovery of a potential source of oxygen on the ocean floor could rewrite what we think is possible on our planet. Initially, when Sweetman and his team retrieved their data, they thought the sensors were faulty because every previous deep-sea study had only observed oxygen being consumed, not produced. They dismissed the results as bad data and moved on. It wasn't until 8 years later, in 2021, that Sweetman went on another research cruise and found the same results using a different measurement method. With two independent approaches confirming the same result, Sweetman realized he might have been overlooking a groundbreaking process occurring 4,000 meters down on the ocean floor. The amount of oxygen being produced was significant, with concentrations in these chambers exceeding those normally observed in surface waters rich with photosynthetic organisms. The key to this mystery lies in a unique feature of the Clarion-Clipperton Zone. The seafloor here is covered with small, rock-like clusters rich in metallic deposits called polymetallic nodules. These nodules, often targeted by deep-sea mining companies for their valuable materials like cobalt, manganese, and nickel, are critical for industries ranging from battery technologies to consumer electronics. These polymetallic nodules were unique to the Clarion-Clipperton Zone that Sweetman was studying, suggesting that these rocks may play an important role. In September of 2023, Sweetman contacted his colleague Franz Geiger, a professor of chemistry at Northwestern University, to discuss possible explanations for this oxygen source. As a result of their work, they coined the term dark oxygen. Like many scientists, when faced with a mysterious phenomenon that can't be explained, they prefixed it with dark. Geiger had experience investigating novel oxygen sources and had previously found that under certain conditions, salt water in the presence of rusted metal can generate small electric currents. Could these metallic nodules be performing a simple form of electrolysis, splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen through some rudimentary form of a naturally occurring battery? To understand what was happening, the team recreated the conditions found on the seafloor in a laboratory on board their ship. They began by sterilizing their samples to remove possible oxygen-producing organisms from the nodules and seafloor sediment, ensuring no other sources of oxygen generation existed in their experimental setup. By enclosing the samples in airtight containers, they monitored the oxygen levels over several days. Consistent with their observations on the ocean floor, the team observed that the oxygen levels slowly increased in the containers, despite no photosynthetic life being present. Interestingly, the oxygen levels increased to 3 times the background concentration, ultimately plateauing after a few days. To provide a deeper analysis, the pair then shipped crates of samples to Geiger's laboratory at Northwestern University. What they found was shocking, literally. From the surface of a single nodule, the team measured voltages of up to 0.95 volts. For context, it takes about 1.5 volts, about the same as a standard AA battery, to split seawater through electrolysis. So they had evidence of voltage generation and oxygen production plateauing, which could indicate that the energy driving the splitting of water molecules becomes depleted. This suggests that there might indeed be a form of geological battery in operation. Polymetallic nodules are peculiar structures, typically forming over millions of years as metals from seawater precipitate onto a nucleating point. Usually, polymetallic nodules form around a fragment of shell, bone, or rock. Most estimates suggest they grow at a rate of 1 to 10 mm per million years. In the paper, the researchers hypothesized that dark oxygen production may partly result from seawater electrolysis, with the necessary energy coming from the potential difference between metal ions within the nodular layers, leading to an internal redistribution of electrons. They further suggest that the geobattery hypothesis is supported by the link between the dark oxygen production rate and the average surface area of a nodule. What does that mean? Simply put, the larger these nodules grow, the more oxygen they seem to produce. This connection could be due to an increased number of anode and cathode sites, or a greater abundance of high nickel or copper dendritic porous layers in larger nodules. However, this raises more questions. Why didn't this process deplete a long time ago? Creating an efficient battery is challenging, and this argument seems weak because many mechanisms could be surface area dependent. At the moment, we just don't know what is happening. One interesting theory put forward by the researchers suggests that the initially high oxygen production rate, which ultimately plateaued, might be related to the bow wave of the landing vehicles, removing sediments from the surface of these nodules and exposing electrochemically active sites. This explanation is surprising and unconvincing to me because the growth rate of these nodules is so incredibly slow. The idea that sediment deposition or removal is the rate-limiting step doesn't seem reasonable. But as of now, we have very little further information. We do know that oxygen appears to be produced, which presents a major dilemma for the deep-sea mining companies that partly funded this research. If these polymetallic nodules provide essential sources of oxygen for deep-sea life, and potentially for our planet as a whole, then mining these deposits could turn out to be a disastrous idea. In response to this study, Patrick D.S., a representative of the metals company, one of the deep-sea mining firms that funded the work, expressed serious reservations about the findings. He suggested that Sweetman's results might be due to oxygen contamination from external sources, a convenient explanation if you're a mining company wanting to avoid disruptions to your operations. A rebuttal article from this group is apparently on the way, so we'll have to wait and see. However, this is a matter we should take seriously. Back in 2016, marine biologists visited sites mined in the 1980s and found that even bacteria had not recovered in the mined areas, whereas marine life continued to flourish in nearby unmined regions. Why such dead zones persist for decades is still unknown, but this should put a major asterisk on strategies for deep-sea floor mining. The biodiversity in nodule-rich areas is even higher than in the most diverse tropical rainforests. A deeper understanding of these oxygen generation mechanisms and their significance to planetary oxygen levels, both now and in the past, could influence our understanding of life's evolution on Earth and how we search for signs of life in the universe. If oxygen can be created easily and commonly without the need for life, it changes how we interpret the presence of oxygen on other planets. Our studies looking for molecular oxygen on exoplanets might turn up nothing more than just a bunch of space rocks. This is a really fascinating and deep topic. At the moment, there are very few credible theories being put forward, but I'm not entirely convinced by the geobattery argument. The mechanics and complexity of making working batteries that don't instantly deplete themselves is pretty tricky to get right. What else could be causing this? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with the geobattery hypothesis? Personally, like I said, I'm not convinced. And now, time for the giveaway. We'll be giving away this Titanic 3D printed model, which will be shipped to your location anywhere in the world. To participate, simply leave a comment down below telling us what you think about this discovery. We're excited to hear about your thoughts. Once you've commented, make sure you're subscribed to our channel and have notifications turned on so you won't miss out on any future giveaways or videos from us. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. The winner will be randomly selected and announced, so stay tuned for that. If you're the lucky winner, we'll get in touch with you directly to arrange the shipping. Also, if you like the 3D model and want to order it, you can buy it now from the description link down below. Good luck everyone, we can't wait to read your comments. From everyone here, thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep the passion alive. Until the next video, take care and see you soon!